As an American, I eat apple pie, play baseball under its blue skies. As an American, I travel this land and follow her roads wherever I can. From sea to shining sea, I've seen a lot, and none of it will be forgot. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. I was born into freedom in a wonderful land of mountains and plains, rivers and lakes. Forever American is what I am. A past as rich as any can be. My father's worked hard to give this to me. I love this place I come from. To live another way I cannot foresee. As an American, I eat apple pie, play baseball under its blue skies. As an American, I travel this land and follow her roads wherever I can. From sea to shining sea, I've seen a lot, and none of it will be forgot. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. As an American, I've been to the peaks of majestic mountains where the air is sweet. I've watched the eagle as it soars in beautiful skies that just can't be ignored. And by this country I'll always stand, for freedom and liberty for every man. When times are hard and things get rough, America always stands ready and rough. As an American, I eat apple pie, play baseball under its blue skies. As an American, I travel this land and follow her roads wherever I can. From sea to shining sea, I've seen a lot, and none of it will be forgot. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. Forever American is what I am.
All right, you guys should be able to hear me now. I'm sorry about that. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Hi, Tia. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Richard. Hi, Nana. Hi, Rodney. Hi, Matt. Hi, Jeff. Hi, other Rodney. Thank you, Linda, for that donation. Can everybody hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can. Trying to make sure you guys can hear me all right. I don't know why all of a sudden my mic cut out like that. That was weird. We got it fixed. Hi, Josie. Ugh, everything going crazy though. Biden, of course, today talking about debt ceiling talks are moving along, according to Biden. Said today, talks with the Congress raising the U.S. debt limit. We're moving along, and more to be known about their progress in the next 2 days. Of course, what he said directly is, I think they're moving along. It's hard to tell. We have not reached a crunch point yet. When is the crunch point? We have less than 15 days left of the month, and it's not a crunch point? It's not an issue? It should be an extreme issue, and it is a crunch point. I mean, negotiations aren't supposed to resume till later next week. But let's face it, the debt ceiling standoff, COVID era big spending, gave way to new focus on the deficit. I mean, the deficit is extreme at this point. It's bigger than our GDP, and people should be waking up. Hi, Holly. How you doing tonight? I do not know what's going on with my mic. I do not know why it keeps cutting out. Oh, it's going to drive me crazy, though. I have to put a light on it so I can see it. Hold on. Guys, just 1 second. All right. So I'll be watching my sound now because I don't know why it keeps cutting out on me. But thank you guys for dealing with it. It's the weirdest thing I've had happen so far. It's not Facebook, it's my computer cutting a mic, which doesn't make sense to me because there's no reason it should. But anyway, Joe Biden, of course, this federal spending problem. He wants to spend money that we're not spending on coronavirus's money here. He wants to keep spending that kind of money, but on other things. Instead of cutting the debt ceiling, but cutting certain federal programs, and the administration's signaled that it's not willing to consider any of this budget caps or any of that. Yeah, get prepared for no Social Security, military, etc. Government fundings. Hey, food stamps will still go out. So will Medicaid. Housing allowances are already issued. They'll be issued. Well, I don't know. That'll be tough. Next month will be the last month they're actually previously issued for. So we'll have to watch and see what's happening with that. But this Biden's supposed Infrastructure and Inflation Reduction Act, we know cost is a ridiculous amount of money. And of course, that's adding to the deficit as we speak. Democrats don't want to move at all. And being at the crunch point, where there's real discussion about some changes that need to be made in order to make this work, nobody's even doing anything at this point. We're not there yet. Nobody is ready. It is sad. Yeah, whoever's controlling Joe Biden is ridiculous. I mean, 9 Biden family members who allegedly got foreign money identified by House GOP. Not a surprise that this was coming. The House Oversight Committee and Chair James Comey identified 9 members of the President Biden's family Wednesday who allegedly received foreign income after testing the bomb or teasing the bombshell for weeks. I mean, if Hunter Biden's son received $1 million. We know this because after laying out the bank records and evidence showing his son received $1 million, and he's saying he's broke and he can't afford child support. And he received that from a Romanian businessman while his dad was vice president. Joe Biden has no direct ties to the money. This is ridiculous. No direct ties to the money, but yet he has ties to assets that was bought with the money. Hunter Biden, James, of course, Sarah, Beau's girlfriend, Haley, all involved. I mean, his current wife, Hunter Biden's current wife, Melissa Cohen, all these people were involved in getting direct funds from foreign governments while he was president for meetings with presidents. Yeah, me tweets, those are the problem, let me tell you. I mean, I don't know how they say that it's not proven that Biden was involved when his whole family's involved with this when he was vice president. I mean, it remains unclear whether they're going to be able to tie anything directly to Biden. But at least at this point, we know that there was the family involved. But nothing's happening. Of course, in Title 42, post-Title 42 border crisis, Biden takes zero questions. And he smiles silently as the press is kicked out of the press office. Biden administration is facing immense pressure of its handling of migrants surging at the border, the southern border now. Remain mums, of course, mums a word Friday and Saturday still following the Title 42 expiration. I mean, when it lapsed overnight, prompting thousands of migrants to come to the United States, hopping the border, hoping to gain entry. I mean, this is going to cause serious health concerns, degradation of our society, let's be honest. I mean, meanwhile, Biden's more worried about meeting bilaterally with the Spanish prime minister. It makes no sense. Who cares about what's happening to our country? You know, let's go meet with somebody else. Let's sit down and have a moment of silence. Biden administration, of course, facing the political heat, and they should be for the southern border. Even more so as Title 42 is no longer in place. This is crazy. Health and Human Services departments are going to have a field day trying to deal with this. I mean, earlier, of course, Thursday, a Honduras teenager died while in U.S. custody at the border. White House, all they're saying is they're deeply saddened. Why do these people believe that they can come in illegally in the first place? Well, there's an app for that. An app stating that you can come here and claim asylum for anything. Of course, people aren't following the app's directions. They're just reading it and going through the border. They don't care anymore. Oh, if Trump tried to do that to any former president, tried to do that to the press, wouldn't answer questions. It would be ridiculous. I mean, Biden is stuck in a political no-win situation after this mess of ending Title 42. Biden did not have a border policy in place. He's getting pummeled on immigration from both sides at this point. Before it was just, of course, the right. But now even lawsuits are rolling in Thursday night from the left and the right amidst torrential criticism already pouring over his lifting the public health order known as Title 42. As tens of thousands of people are pouring into the country. We don't know what them being in our... We don't want them bringing in our country. We have enough problems right now. I mean, honestly, we know that just a couple of them that were actually caught with a huge group that did not get caught were terrorists. They were on the terrorist watch list. A huge group of migrants, and they only caught a few. I mean, how many terrorists are crossing to our southern border right now? how much damage has to be done to our country. I mean, you need to have a legal way to immigrate, but when people cross illegally, they are breaking the U.S. law. You do not give them another way around it. You immediately send them back. If they want to have their day in court, we should set up a courthouse across the border. I mean, the evidence is unmistakable. The immigration policy is damaging to our country. Administrations, of course, are still floating family detention. I mean, this is ridiculous. Biden administration needs to get a handle on this, and now people could determine whether immigrants will be typical or second-tier campaign issues. We know the mega base is not going to move for immigration like this that's happening. And he should be impeached. He's not acting as a true political party. This is our problem. This is our America, and our America is being destroyed from the inside out. They've already started destroying our currency. I don't know if you guys know, China and Russia now have so much gold and silver and precious metals. That's the reason Russia's and Ukraine, let's be honest, the Black Mountain region is full of minerals. Precious minerals that are rare and needed. I mean, what are we going to do at this point? If China takes Taiwan, are we just going to destroy Taiwan? Because that's about all we can do. New York cops are being overwhelmed being ordered to confiscate guns at alarming rates. New York State police investigators are struggling to keep up with increased number of cases involving extreme risk protection orders. These judges are now just issuing these orders at a drop of a hat, which are compelling authorities to confiscate firearms, according to New York State Police Investigators Association. The union has cited retirements, promotions, and transfers of the investigators as contributing factors to the decline in state police investigator ranks. I mean, this is ridiculous. When Governor Kelly Holmes signed a measure last year that expanded the type of people who could be petitioned under the red flag laws, of course, changed compelling police and district attorneys to file emergency order protections whenever they have any kind of credible information that the individual is likely to do something that would result in serious harm. Not serious harm with a weapon, not just harm somebody or something. And the evidence is very, very scantily. The number of firearms seized by police from individuals deemed likely to harm themselves or others has increased so much in the past year that state police barracks have reconfigured or expanded their evidence rooms in order to just store these weapons at this point. I mean, members are getting overwhelmed in New York by the workload. The impact of the budget increase in the agency won't be felt for at least 6 months, but yet they're having to do all this extra work and confiscate guns for anybody, for any reason. I mean, if somebody's being investigated for any kind of crime at this point in New York, even if they're suspected to be a part of a burglary ring, not that they've proven, suspected, their weapons get seized. I mean, it's unimaginable. I mean, watching these things happen just in 2020, of course, there was only 255 people throughout New York that had an order of protection against them. However, so far this year, over 2,000 people have been subject to the emergency temporary risk protection order. 2,000 people in the state of New York already. It's ridiculous. Seizing weapons from 2,000 people because you feel like it. This is a gun grab. That's what it is. I mean, these measures are unconstitutional. I mean, to enact a law that has been challenged under civil rights claims several times. I mean, some New York judges are already issuing rulings finding the process unconstitutional. There has been no overturning of the law, in the rulings yet. Neither state police nor state attorney's office have been named parties in any of these lawsuits. Just jump in and take the guns. All that, and we're facing what's happening on the other side of the world. You know, China and Russia are increasing their military collaborations, and it's showing. I mean, I hate to say this. Yes, Ukraine took hold of some area outside the Donetsk region, not the city itself. They did manage to recapture some of that outside territory, but the city's hardened and reinforced now. Russia's ready. Concerns, of course, Saturday about Russia and Chinese military cooperation in Asia. Japan's worried about the situation in Europe right now. Could not separate itself in the Indo-Pacific region since Moscow's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. I mean, speaking of meeting with Europe and Indo-Pacific and Minister of Sweden, Russia's war in Ukraine had shaken the very foundation of international order. As we're seeing happen, as we're seeing Turkey joining, and Turkey's a NATO nation. Let's say that again. Turkey is a NATO nation, but they are joining in with Moscow, with China, sitting down with meetings with Iran. I mean, the problem is, people that are backing, of course, Ukraine are filing weapons in massive amounts, are getting pushed aside. Moscow and China has much more gold than us at this point. We owe them $7 trillion of our national debt in cash is owed to China at this point. And we're going to go and borrow more when our credit rating's already low. Who's going to loan that to us? Of course, China is forcingly and increasing military activity around Taiwan still right now. And joint fighter and bombers, and joint naval exercises in the vicinity of Japan from Russia and China are happening. China, which claims most of the South China Sea as well as the Japanese-held islands in the South China Sea, says it has the right to defend its sovereignty and developed interests, which technically it does. Question is, the escalation and provocations of North Korea and other people conducting ballistic missile tests with a frequent and a manner that are unprecedented at the current age. We're seeing this increase, this threat. Since the aggression of Russia in Ukraine, Europe, and a lot of countries in the NATO Union are in trouble. We've been funneling weapons there for so long that we don't really have a hold on this anymore. The base that we're putting back in the Philippines, this is a crazy story, was sold to a company owned by William Clinton and Hillary Clinton. That property was sold to them on pennies for the dollar. Of course, now the U.S. is buying it back for them at well above market price. You heard that right. U.S. military sold that base to a company owned by Hillary and William Clinton. And that is now being sold back at a premium to the U.S. government for us to put another base in the Philippines. Honduras is launching trade talks now with China. Has ties deep in between them. And Central America's countries' top diplomats said on Friday, making for the latest step in stronger bilateral ties between China. Honduras has broken off relationships with Taiwan. I mean, we're watching this happen. Now we're watching South America cut off ties with the Western nations and joining in with this BRICS nation. I mean, this is crazy. Honduras ending decades-long diplomatic ties with Taiwan. In a bid to, of course, open relations with China. We know Iran's vessels to Brazil to move troops in. It's a matter of time at this point. It is crazy out there. Absolutely crazy watching this happen. I guess this is where we're at. This is the way the world is now. Crazy as it seems. Crazy as it seems. What a mess. Yes, it is a mess. It's a mess that we can recover from at any point. It's going to be hard to say. Definitely not with the leaders we have in play right now. I could say that. Definitely not with these leaders. There's no way. We got 2.5 weeks till we hit the debt ceiling. 2.5 weeks, you guys. They don't come up with a deal, we default on our debt, which will lead to ripples around the world. Yeah, the crookeds are going to keep getting away with everything. And I think for some reason the U.S. government wants the debt ceiling to hit. I think for some reason the government wants to crash the U.S. economy at this point, which is scary. Will it be the benefit of it? Well, then they would have control of rebuilding the government as they see fit. When a country is in disarray and cannot afford to feed itself or clothe itself or house itself because their money is valueless, the government steps in. Oh, big brother government here to help you. Just devastating. That's the way it is, though. But I want to say God bless you all. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Like I said, I am sorry that I was not there last night. Anxiety was through the roof. We're trying to raise money for this family, so please, if you can afford to donate anything, please do. Please, please do. God bless you all. God bless America. Good night.